Welcome to the training video for the Menu and Nutrition Environment Self-Assessment Tool for Childcare Settings, developed by ODPH. ODPH stands for Ontario Dietitians in Public Health. These are the dietitians working in public health across the province with childcare centres in their region. The Ministry of Education requested ODPH to help centres interpret the Childcare and Early Years Act, specifically the requirement to meet Canada's food guide with the food and drinks served. ODPH responded by creating resources like this self-assessment tool and a few others you may find useful as well, such as the Menu Planning and Supportive Nutrition Environment Practical Guide, which includes a list of foods that should be provided most often, sometimes, or avoided altogether. 4 free online learning modules that centres can complete at staff meetings as an ongoing education opportunity. And Paint Your Plate, a toolkit for Ontario childcare providers, which includes recipes for your cook or chef and food-related activities for your frontline ECE staff. These resources were developed based on the 2007 version of Canada's Food Guide. Although the guide was updated in 2019, many similarities remain between the two versions. The Ministry is supportive for now of continuing the use of these tools based on the previous version of the Food Guide. All of these resources can be found for free on the ODPH website under the Resources tab or at the link on the screen. Additionally, both Grey and Bruce counties are planning on housing these tools and resources on their respective online learning platforms. These resources can help your centre understand the importance of nutritious food and physical activity for the proper growth and development of children. The resources also provide training and education opportunities for staff on creating a supportive food environment in the centre, which goes far beyond the kitchen. Many staff will know what a menu is, but some may not know what a supportive food environment is. A supportive food or nutrition environment is a space that allows everyone to feel comfortable exploring and enjoying food. It is a place where no one will experience pressure to eat certain foods or behave in a certain way about foods. And it's a place where the food is offered in a pleasant and inviting manner that helps to create a positive relationship with food that will last a lifetime. So you can see it is about more than the food served. It involves the attitudes of the staff, the atmosphere created at meal and snack times, and may require further education for some staff. There are 5 easy steps to follow and just 4 checklists to complete. This tool can help to monitor your menus and ensure you are providing foods that will nourish a child's mind and body. The tool will also help you assess your center's food environment and help guide staff to make improvements. Both of these activities can help to improve the overall quality of care at your center. The tool should be completed annually with additional assessments each time you plan or create a new menu cycle. And the tool should be completed by the center's supervisor with input from frontline ECE staff and the cook or chef. So let's get started. Step 1 is preparing the menu for the assessment process. For this, you will need to be familiar with Canada's Food Guide and what foods fit into which food group. The 2007 Canada Food Guide describes 4 food groups: vegetables and fruits, grain products, milk and alternatives, and meat and alternatives. In the newer Canada Food Guide, the meat and alternatives and milk and alternatives have been combined into a new food group called the protein foods. ODPH is supportive of the new food guide, but for ease of use of the childcare tools and resources, we will continue to address milk and alternatives and meat and alternatives separately. When assessing your menu, remember that foods with lower nutritional value may be in the serve sometimes or do not serve categories, as they do not provide the nutrients of a food guide serving. Cream cheese and sour cream are good examples of this. Many people may think they belong to the milk and alternatives group, but they do not have enough protein, calcium, or vitamin D to be included as a serving for that food group. They may still be used in limited amounts as a condiment. It may be helpful to refer to the Menu Planning Practical Guide, which provides clear direction about what foods fit where, which foods are considered served most often, served sometimes, or do not serve. The Practical Guide also reviews portions, how much food to prepare, and what foods are choking hazards and should be avoided for those under 4 years of age. It's good to point out here that meals and snacks in a child care or institutional setting may be very different than what is served at home. Child care centers can help children explore new tastes and textures and create a positive experience when trying new foods. A well-designed menu can help to do this, while also maximizing food dollars spent, supporting children's growth and development, supporting a sustainable food system, and being enjoyable to eat. ODPH's guidance documents are helpful tools to build a menu that support these goals. There are many supports available for building institutional and child care menus. Some of these can assist with including diverse cultural identities and indigenous food traditions. Others provide vegetarian menu options that can reduce food costs. Public Health can connect you to these resources. Many staff may think that menu compliance means making sure the menu and any changes are posted for parents to see. But compliance isn't just about that. It's also about how the menu is developed to meet Canada's Food Guide, what foods are included, how they are described, and how they are served. You want to provide details on your menu about what fruit and vegetables you are serving and how they will be prepared, what kind of whole grain product is being used, and the major ingredients in a mixed dish. On page 2 of the self-assessment tool, you'll find an example of a mixed dish and how to break it down into its food group parts. Lasagna is on the menu, so how does it fit into the food groups? Well, tomato sauce and chopped spinach would both be a fruit and vegetable choice. The whole grain lasagna noodles are the grain product. Mozzarella cheese would fit into the milk and alternatives group, and lean ground beef would be the meat and alternative choice. And that's how you break a meal down into its individual food group parts. If a center needs more assistance with this mixed dish breakdown process, please watch the online modules from ODPH or contact your local health unit. Portion sizes for children of different ages are provided on page 4 and 5 of the self-assessment tool. Use the portions provided as a guide for how much to prepare and serve to start. Children may not finish what's on their plate, or they may ask for more. It is the adult's responsibility to provide nutritious food at set times throughout the day in a pleasant atmosphere. Staff should use the division of responsibility for feeding, where adults are responsible for what, when, and where a child eats, and a child is responsible for how much or whether a food is eaten. Staff should never force or pressure a child to eat or withhold food for any reason. This is part of creating a supportive food environment. If staff see a pattern of food refusal in a child, they should speak with the supervisor and involve the parent. Referral to another agency or medical professional may be in order. Step 2 involves assessing the menu. Use pages 6 to 9 to assess the menu's meal and snack patterns to ensure you are providing what is required at each meal or snack. Remember, each snack must provide one choice from the vegetables and fruit group, as well as one choice from either the grain products or the milk and alternative group. So a morning snack could have fruit and yogurt, and an afternoon snack could have whole grain pita triangles, hummus, and raw vegetables like carrots and cucumbers. Each meal should include all 4 food groups, 2 choices from the fruit and vegetable group, and then 1 choice from each of the remaining groups, the grains, milk, and meat and alternatives. Review each day of the menu using the templates provided on pages 6 and 7 of the tool. This will help you to identify where you may be missing a food group or providing too many choices from one food group at a time. Now it's time to discuss the general menu assessment questions on pages 8 and 9 of the tool. Answer the questions as accurately as possible. This means involving all staff who help to develop menus and prepare or serve the food. Pay special attention to the foods that are not to be served. You can find the full list of foods not to be served on pages 15 and 16 of the Menu Planning Practical Guide. Choking hazards are found on page 17 of that guide. And as a reminder, you can find the guide at the ODPH website under Childcare Resources or on your county's local online learning platform. The response guide on page 9 of this tool will show you how well you are doing at following the menu planning guide. If all boxes are checked, you're doing great. If 1 to 4 check marks are missing, refer back to the practical guide for more details on how to meet the requirements. If 5 or more check marks are missing, time to call for some external support. This means your menu is not meeting the requirements under the Child Care and Early Years Act. Refer back to the practical guide and consider contacting your local health unit and requesting a consultation with the public health dietitian. Step 3 involves assessing the nutrition environment in the center. You will need to include frontline staff and all early childhood educators in this discussion. Review the questions in the checklist for a supportive nutrition environment on page 10. These questions deal with how best to support appropriate developmental eating behaviors of children in your care, as well as actions of your staff during meal and snack times. How staff talk about body shape, food, and dieting has an impact on the children in their care. Using food as a reward or punishment does not allow children to develop a positive relationship with food. The division of responsibility plays a major role here. As discussed previously, care providers decide what food is offered, when, and where it is served. Children decide what foods to eat and how much. After answering all the questions, check the response guide on page 11 to see how well your staff is doing at creating and maintaining a supportive nutrition environment in your center. Even if you check all of the boxes, there's always room for improvement. Seek out staff training on nutrition-related topics, such as weight bias and how to address it appropriately. Step 4 is to make a plan to improve the menu and supportive nutrition environment based on the results in the response guides on page 9 and 11. Focus on questions that did not get a check mark. Share your findings with your whole staff and seek input and suggestions. Develop a plan together with 1 or 2 SMART goals to get started. Remember, SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. An example for a menu assessment issue might be you identified that you are serving foods from the Do Not Serve category. Your goal? We will no longer serve any foods from the Do Not Serve category. How will you achieve this goal? Well, you can have staff monitor this by using random spot checks at snacks and meals daily for 3 weeks. Any foods from the Do Not Serve category will be recorded and addressed immediately. Any such food or beverage will be removed from the menu cycle, not to be purchased or served again. The supervisor should then complete the full menu self-assessment tool in another 3 months after the spot checks have been completed to ensure maintenance of removal of such foods. The rationale here is that only foods and beverages that support the proper growth and development of children should be served on a daily basis. Foods from the Do Not Serve category are in that category because they do not supply the nutrients that children require for proper growth and development. An example for a supportive nutrition environment issue might be the supervisor observes staff on their personal cell phones while sitting and eating lunch with children in their care. The goal is for staff not to use personal electronic devices during meal or snack times. A basket will be sent around at the start of every meal or snack to collect the phones and keep them safe until after the meal or snack is completed. This practice will be implemented immediately and monitored by the supervisor. The rationale here is that role modeling is an important part of developing a positive relationship with food. Children should not see staff on these devices while they are eating. The staff are to be using that time to focus on enjoying the food, talk about shapes and colors and textures, and help children build a positive relationship with food. Step 5 involves gathering more information if needed. If you have any questions or concerns about how to implement this tool in your center, please reach out to your local health unit. Once you have the confidence to implement this tool, you can utilize it for continuous quality improvement. Complete the tool annually or more often as needed. Following the steps in this self-assessment tool will help you to improve your menu planning skills and maintain a supportive nutrition environment, both of which will increase the quality of care in your center. Be sure to use the other ODPH resources to support your work going forward. You will find many helpful examples of menus, recipes, and food-related activities your staff can implement. Check out the childcare resources and the online learning modules at www.odph.ca for more details.